Hello, this is the Watchdog, and welcome back to Fun with Watches. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today we're going to review the Carekiso 901. Let's start out with the wrist check. I'm wearing this Gigadiddy GY16104, and Grogu is wearing my R-Lens AR-305. Grogu was talking to Grief Karga, who was telling about the time during the Clone Wars when he and the Jawa were on a secret mission and got locked up in Count Dooku's watchtower. "There must be some kind of way out of here," said the Jawa to the Grief. All right, let's take a look at the watch. It comes in a box that says Podagar. And when I unboxed this, I thought it was a Podagar. But if you look at the logo on top of the dial, it says Carekiso. But here it is. Came with a tiny cleaning cloth, and it came with an extra battery. So you don't have to go to Battery Patrol and give them $10. That was a joke, of course. I hope you all don't go to Battery Patrol, and I hope you all buy your own batteries from Amazon really cheap and change them yourselves. This is the first Carekiso on my channel. I am saying Carekiso, but for all I know, it is pronounced Carekiso. Pronounce it whatever way you want. When I made the unboxing video, I called it a Podagar, and that is what it says on this box and the AliExpress ad, and I already had made the title card before I unboxed it, and I didn't feel like changing the card. This is an ultra affordable quartz sub homage on a silicone strap that has a quick release. I usually get a metal bracelet when I can because I think it is more of a useful review, but there was no bracelet option. This is a dive style watch with the keyword being style. Since it's 30 meters, water resistance is the bare minimum, plus the hand loom is so bad you would never be able to see it under the water. This watch comes in 3 colorways, each with a matching silicone strap. If you don't like the blue Smurf style, there's also a more traditional black or the all green of a Hulk. I don't know if it's a faux pas to use established Rolex nicknames for an under $10 AliExpress homage, but my channel is probably one big faux pas anyway. The watch is 43.3 millimeters at the bezel, which slightly overhangs the case, so the case is probably a 43. It's 50.4 millimeters lug to lug. It's 14 millimeters thick. It really doesn't look that big, but it is a big watch. Has a 20 millimeter lug width. It weighs 78 grams on the supplied silicone strap. The bezel has aluminum insert, and it's a 60-click unidirectional, and the action is really mushy, and there's a ton of backplay. This is your typical $9 AliExpress sub homage bezel action, really bad. And then we do have a loom pip, and actually the loom on the loom pip isn't that bad, but the rest of the watch, I don't know. Then we have the dial. As you can see, the dial has a slight purple tint to it. It's not that noticeable when you see it with your naked eye, but when you see it on the camera, you can really see the purple. So, like I said, though, when I look at it with my eye, it looks like it matches the bezel a lot more than it does with the camera. Then up top, we have the Carekiso name and logo printed. And then on the bottom, it says Resistance Quartz. So that's kind of odd. But anyway, you only get the 30 meters of water resistance. So this is a dive style watch, not a dive watch. And then we have the loomed indices, and they're applied, and they're your typical Rolex style with the upside down triangle at the 12, batons at the 6 and the 9, and dots everywhere else. And then we have the hands. We have the fence post minute hand, and the Mercedes hour hand, and the lollipop second hand. Then we have a date at the 3 with a cyclops, and the cyclops barely magnifies. A lot of people don't like the cyclops. I don't mind them, but just as long as they work. And this one doesn't work. So I'd rather have no cyclops than one that poorly magnifies. Then we have an unsigned push-pull crown with significant crown guards. Crown guards actually protect the crown. They don't just act like a little pedestal for it. Crown action though is pretty loose, but it's not horrible. And you can set it without the annoying minute hand jump. You just have to be really careful when you do it. You just have to hold the crown when you press it in, and then you don't get that jump. So I've seen a lot worse. And yes, this is a $9 watch, so you're not going to get a great movement, but I've seen much worse, so I'm not going to complain about that. Then we have a flat mineral glass crystal. You're not going to get sapphire at this price. And then we have a case that's a chrome plated alloy. There's nothing wrong with the case. It's shaped just right, does the job. And this is a big watch, but it doesn't seem big. Then we have a coin edge case back, but the coin edge is just decoration because you can see the little notch there. So it's a press-on case back, and there's no writing on it at all. Underneath the case back, I don't know the movement. I didn't bother popping the case back off. It's quartz, is Chinese, and it's cheap. But once again, the crown action isn't horrible, and it looks like the second hand's actually hitting the marks. So I'm not going to complain about the movement either. Then we have a silicone strap, and it has quick release. And so that's nice. You usually don't get quick release in this price range. The silicone, it's soft, it's slick, it's a little mushy. It's not a good quality silicone, but it doesn't feel horrible. Then you have two keepers. This one has the little nibs to keep it in place, but they don't work very well. You go over the nibs really easy. I'm perfectly happy with no little nibs on a silicone strap. I just don't think they work very well anyway, and they just get in the way. Then the buckle is also a chrome plated, and it's I don't know, the prong's not too bad. It does the job. It's not horrible. And since it's a silicone strap, you really don't need to get a deployment clasp for it. It's easy enough to put on and off, and you're not going to ruin it. And if you do ruin it, it's easy enough to change it since it has quick release. Here's the watch on my 7.5-inch wrist. And if you look at the notches there, I'm right in the middle. I got 4 going in and 4 going out. So you should be able to wear this any size of wrist. So unless you're bigger than 8.5. This is a big watch, but it doesn't wear big. And it's 80 grams, so it doesn't feel heavy. And it's not a bad looking watch considering it only costs $9. And here's the watch on a vintage leather strap. I think that looks nice. And once again, this watch has quick release, so it was really easy to change the strap. So yeah, that looks good. It doesn't look like a $9 watch. Here we are in the loom room. This is an under $10 AliExpress watch, so I'm not expecting much. As we speed up the time, the indices and the loom pip really aren't that bad considering the price. But unfortunately, those hands are already gone. Not sure why they even bother with the index loom if they aren't going to do the hands properly. The hands are what is important, and if you can't see the hands, you can't tell the time. What do I like about this watch? Well, I like the dial. It has a nice sunburst effect, and it just doesn't look cheap. I think the watch looks and wears nice considering how big it is. And I like the fact it has a quick release strap. What are my gripes and groans? Really mushy bezel action with a ton of back play. The Cyclops barely magnifies, and the hand loom is a joke. Do I recommend this watch? Yeah, it's only $9. And it's not a bad looking watch, and it wears nice. And you can set it without too much frustration, unlike a lot of cheap quartz watches. And you can change the strap really easy. So I'm going to say yes, I recommend it. Well, thank you for watching my review of the Carekiso 901, and I will be back with another review. Be sure and like and subscribe to my channel, and if you like this watch, be sure to use my affiliate link and I might get a tiny commission. And if you want to be a participant in the Members' Choice, be sure to join my channel and you can vote on the Members' Choice watch in a couple of months. Bye.